It's about to go down.
You are listening to WPRD 98.3 GCOMradio, powered by Lyfeblood.com and hosted by
You are listening to the incredible
Nova Phoenix and LK Mason.
Okay, what's going on, y'all? This is WPRD 98.3 GCOMradio. We are here for our first show. This is the first show. Latasha, what's going on?
LK Mason, what's up, y'all?
Okay, boom. Now that's the thing, because I don't think we came up with a name for you. Want LK Mason? What's up?
Well, we're going to introduce me as LK Mason, but obviously you're not going to call me LK Mason through the whole show. So you can call me LK, whatever.
Boom. All right, cool. We go with that. So we're here, man. We recording history. This is what it is. So I guess we could get right to the topic of the first show. And what did we pick? What was the first on the list?
You don't know?
You know what? I'm looking at this thing. Feeling of new age rap. That's what we got here. So, what's your take on this feeling of new age rap? What you think of this new fangled music? Do you listen to rap? What's your thing?
I mean, to be honest, I don't. Not anymore. You know, I'm with my old school folks. You know what I mean? I'm with the Jay-Z and the T.I. and I mean, not that they don't produce something current, but yeah, I don't get with this new age stuff. That's not my steez. That's not what I do.
So you all do Migos and Ray Shremmerd and
Nah, not really.
Lil
I think it was like
Uzi.
one song. I mean, of the Migos that I think I know. What's the one? Is that the one? You know, Call Me on the Cell Phone. Is that them?
What? Call me on the cell phone.
Is that them? That's
Call
not them?
me on my cell phone. That's Drake.
What? That was Drake? That is not Drake. That was Migos.
That was Drake, girl. There you
Yo, so that is not Drake, yo.
Yo, that's
Google
Drake,
it.
man. Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm like, that is not Drake. Yo, call me on my cell phone. I already know. I'm telling you. Call me on my cell phone.
So then,
That's Drake.
so now you know. I just really don't even fool with it.
Wow. So when you stopped listening to rap, then?
Man, yo, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since I let that go.
So then what would you consider your I mean, to me, listen, I listen to all of it. And I listen to radio because, you know, a lot of people want to give, you know, shit to radio and they be like, oh, they just play this corny stuff and hip hop is dead. Listen, the same stuff that we heard back in the 90s and the 80s, it's the same thing these kids is talking about now in their 19, 20, 21 years of age. So how am I going to knock it? So to me, as an old school, it's funny, I'm calling myself old school. I can't believe it.
You're old head. Go ahead.
But me I take it as me as a head that came up in hip hop in the 90s, early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. It started in the early 80s up to now. My thing is, you can't tell me I haven't heard it all before. Wow, when the phone, it's funny, folks, when phones ring. I forgot to put my joint on buzzer. Anyway, it's no big deal. So my thing is, I can respect artistry, and I'm trying not to be the old fogey. So I do turn on the radio and I listen to it. So I know Migos, I know Ray Shremmerd, Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Yachty, all these cats. Now I won't necessarily say I appreciate it, I like it, but I'll respect that this generation is gonna have the corny stuff, and this generation is gonna have the real good stuff. I think we should be able to kind of sift through it. I don't want to get old and crotchety and be like, oh, nah, son, I listen to Big Daddy Kane. That was on real time. Nah, I mean, you gotta kind of open the door and let the new generation talk. I think it's okay to say what you're feeling
and what you're not feeling, though. Like, there are some songs that I have heard that I'm feeling, but I can't quote to you who the artist is because I'm just not that into it. You know what I mean? It's not that I'm hating on the new folks. Hey, I love y'all. I love the new people. Like, but it's not my style. It's not my thing. I'm more into R&B than I am hip hop now.
What's the R&B that you listen to?
What R&B do I listen to?
What's the R&B that you listen to? Even people got problems with R&B.
I mean, because
people got having problems with R&B like they do.
The old school, what we knew, the feel good music is just really not there. You know, it's not. If I'm being honest.
So what do you think is the difference between the new gen R&B as opposed to?
I mean, like I said, it was feel good. You know, back in the day, it was feel good music. It was about being in love. It was about, you know, happiness, love and happiness. It was about, I don't know, it's not about that. It seems like, you know, these days it's more about twerking and shaking your booty, and, you know, I just yeah.
Yo, you remember Silk?
Yeah.
Come on now, you remember Silk? All right, you listen to old Silk, you gonna be like,
oh, I had me a little rhyme to that. You know, I used to do a little rapping a little bit back in the day, and I had me a little, yeah. yeah. You know what
word?
I'm saying?
You go. so
word,
you wouldn't tell me that before.
Yes.
Man. You wouldn't tell me you was rapping.
You know.
Word. So you was on your what you call it? Oh my God.
That's
Roxanne.
That's how I got started. Roxanne Shante. I was like, yo, she is dope. And I was like, I can do that.
So all right, so you got experience, so you know the deal. So you do you can listen to rap music and R&B and appreciate what these
I don't want it to all
today,
sound alike. I want it to be
not.
something of substance. And, you know, I don't want it to all be about, you know, shaking booties and smashing each other and all of that. Like, there's more to talk about.
Yeah, because let me tell you something. I was listening to it's funny. I got a kid right now, and she's young. All right, so I'm in the car and I'm listening to even what's his name? He was with Rihanna, Chris Brown. I listen to Chris Brown and I'm like, God damn, my man wrote. Yo, there's back in the day, 10 years ago, you could listen to R&B and you'll know it was coded. Everything was coded.
Yeah,
now there is nothing that is left to the imagination. They say everything. They say it in detail. Like, God damn, bro. I mean, I gotta turn down the radio.
Like,
yo,
flashing a little cleavage at you, like you're seeing the whole boobage. You know what I mean? Like,
yo, they laying everything out, everything coming out. So I mean, like I said, you know, I know this. We was talking about rap, but you know, I think it goes hand in hand.
Yes,
R&B and rap go hand in hand. So, I say just.
I mean, like I said, there's some out there that
they
like, I
talking
can't
about, like,
quote, you know, who the artist is. I'm like, yeah, I like this song. This is my jam. Can't tell you, you know, like you just told me that the song that I thought I liked was Migos. You trying to tell me it's Drake? That wasn't Drake though,
yeah, that
homie.
Was Drake. Yeah, straight.
What?
Drake. Call me on my cell phone. That was Drake. I just looked it up online.
I'm real embarrassed right now.
You Medea. Hotline Bling. The song is called Hotline Bling.
Yo, Drake, I love you, man.
Yo, you really don't listen to this new stuff. This rap stuff.
You know, everybody loves Kendrick Lamar,
so
and I respect him because of the people that I admire who admire him, but I cannot name a song of his that I have heard. I just don't listen to it anymore. Yeah.
Oh, word. I guess so. I mean, it is what it is. I'll listen to it and I'll hum to it and I'll dance and I'll hear songs that I really like, but it's not going to be like, you know, of course, you know, we all have our memories. We love the music. The reason why we love the music back in the day, because it comes along with memories, you know, high school, college, and, you know, our fun times with our friends at the time. And, you know, there's a nostalgia to it. So when we hear this new stuff, it's like, man, it's not like
right. So I agree. That's why we still love the music from back in the day, because all of those memories, you know, do come with it. But during that time, it wasn't like, you know, it was new and it was just hot. You know, you heard songs like, yo,
right.
You know,
right. And you know what? speaking of new age music, as part of the show, the format, what we do kind of like splice in some artists, some new artists and some established artists. And it's about time we play one of the joints of the artists that we have. We have several R&B. Now let you know we're opening it up to it's hip hop and R&B, of course, because that's what we're familiar with. But we're opening it up to all types of world music. And we're going to put together, a music list as the weeks go by and we collect more music. And it's going to be a playlist for you to listen to in SoundCloud and other platforms. So be mindful of that, folks. So you're going to hear a lot of stuff. So if you want to submit music, please submit it to submissions@Lyfeblood.com. And we'll explain more about that a little later. Submissions@Lyfeblood.com. So our first order of music that we are going to play today is Baby Music from Mobile, Alabama. The song is called, was it Beautiful Woman? Or was
you
it
said you
was
wanted
it Dream
to play
Girl?
Beautiful Woman. I selected Dream Girl.
Beautiful Woman. All right. Let's go with Beautiful Woman because I remember we wanted to break it up. Check this out, y'all. It's Baby Music from Mobile, Alabama. The song is called Beautiful Woman. Check it out.
You're beautiful, beautiful. This is gonna be major trouble. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman. You're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman. There's so many beautiful girls in this world that I wanna be with. So many to choose from, I don't know how I can handle it. I think I'm losing my mind. Oh no, I don't want
Straight to the four corners of the earth. What we have here are sonic bangers.
No doubt.
On the world stage.
you know that you're beautiful. Beautiful woman. Do you know what you're beautiful? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman. Yeah. Do you know? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman. Yeah. You're beautiful. You're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman. Everywhere I go, they are there. Got me caught up in a dream. Say what? And this just isn't me who I am. I just don't feel the same. I don't know. I think I'm losing. I'm losing control. Ooh, no, I don't wanna be a fool. So sexy she kill, got me going crazy. I don't wanna be a dog, but I'm thirsty for you, babe. Beautiful woman, do you know what you're beautiful? Beautiful,
Okay. All right, folks, what's going on? This is Nova Phoenix. We back. We just listened to baby music from Mobile, Alabama. Beautiful Woman. It was a tight song. I loved it. So on our next segment, what we're going to talk about is Trump and racism. That's what I'm talking about. That's one of the topics that we have for the first show. And let's say with Trump, what can we say that we don't already know? We know he plays dog whistle politics on speaking to his base, and I think it's a multi-layered issue there dealing with racism. And I think even with Obama in the time that he was in office, it kind of lulled the people asleep, and people were talking about a post-racial America, and having Trump not everything that Trump was, what he was talking about up to the point that he got elected. It was a rude awakening to know that this is not a post-racial society. Racism is alive and well. It's a cancer that infects everyone. And America really hasn't dealt with their racism properly. I mean, racism...
Let me ask you something, though. Because you were speaking in reference to the Obama era. Were we not aware of racism then? Or is that what you're saying?
No, I think... Go ahead.
I think it started to rear its head then.
Well, this is my thing. Racism, as I said before off air, is as American as apple pie. It goes back since the first African slaves that were brought to this country. Now, America never really dealt with its racism. It just they kind of just brush it under the rug and just hope that if people don't talk about it, that it will just go away. Now, there's a sinister reasons for that, and there's also this happy-go-lucky reasons for that, where people are like, well, if we don't talk about it, then it'll just go away and we'll all be, live happily ever after. And it's not like that. But I think with the Obama era, what happened was, people felt good, especially when the black folk were coming in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, the 70s, 80s, going through decade for decade. There were different trials and tribulations and struggles that the black community went through when we finally, and also every other American that was watching what was happening. And when Obama finally came in and got elected, it lulled people into this fantasy that, oh my God, we got a black president, everything's going to be all good from here on out. And
I don't think that lasted, though.
It did not last. And Trump was a big, hello, we ain't going nowhere. And there were a lot of haters that did not like Obama. There was a lot of, there's a big a section of America that was like, we don't want that nigger as our president. Let's keep it real. That's what they were saying. And even when they don't say the N-word, that's what they were really saying. So to me, Trump is just it's a layered thing. I think it's an elite thing, but I also think it's a racism thing. A racism thing more on a great portion of the American public that they've been taught to be racist. So when Trump came out and started doing his dog whistle politics and talking about immigrants and talking about, we don't want those people, they're criminals, they're less desirable, and talking about, Haiti and Africa, and they're like shithole countries, and what happened with Puerto Rico. All of these things that Trump is talking about and blasting it out on his bullhorn is his base is reacting off of that and saying, yeah, the good old days when white people were on top. And they don't care what Trump does. They as what Trump said, he could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue or Madison Avenue and still get elected president, whatever he said.
Right.
That is what he
said it and he did it.
Yeah, and he did it, right? Not literally, but
he didn't kill someone, but
right, but he's doing it, right? By his policies. So the American public are basically saying, especially the older ones, are saying, yeah, and because of their racism and they're afraid of this multiculturalism, they're reacting off that, and it's on top of also dealing with economic struggles. They're dealing with unemployment. They're dealing with this opioid crisis that's happening. So there's a lot of things that's affecting white America that to them it's new to them. It ain't new to black people. We've been going through it. We had the crack era. We dealing with J.F. Hoover. We dealing with Lyndon B. Johnson and our whole civil rights struggle. So we understand that. But with white America, a lot of the things to me is a culmination of just bad policy for the last 30 years is now affecting the white community, and they're frustrated. They're angry. So now Trump comes in and I do not put it past the elite. Trump comes in, he does his dog whistle politics. He shouts to the people these things when just as a distraction to get them thinking, oh my God, yeah, you know what? It is the immigrants. It is the black people. You know what? I never liked them before. And it pretty much brought the worst out of folk. And when you come and when you deal with people that are uneducated.
Do you think it brought the worst out of folks, or it emboldened them?
It emboldened them. It did embolden them.
Right.
This is not like, it's not like Obama came in and they were like, well, maybe we were wrong. No, it wasn't like that. I think those people were always racist and they just dealt with it. But because of all those things that are coming, that's happening within America, how our society is slowly kind of withering away and deteriorating, dealing with the economy, they need someone to blame. And it's easy. They don't want to do the hard work in trying to figure out why our society is the way it is now. So now you have those racist folks that, look, 53% of white women voted for Trump. That's not a small section. That's a big portion. And where does that come from? It comes from just not dealing with their shit. So anyway, the point is, Trump is just
fair
coming.
To say that, because someone voted for Trump, that they're racist?
Yeah, it's fair to say that. You probably could not have gotten away with that during his campaign, but everything that Trump is doing, all those talking points, those the double entendres and the coded language that Trump uses when he's talking about other people, how he's dealing with the EU, how he's dealing with unions and all this talk and not bringing, as I said before, we can't bring those people over here. All of that is just letting his base know we're going to keep America white. Because there was an article that came out to say that within our lifetime, in 40, 50 years, the majority will become the minority. And if you're still inherently racist and taught to be racist, which is a big portion of this country, when you read those articles and you see these numbers coming out, you start to get genuinely fearful. Like, you start feeling like, oh man, they gonna do to us what we did to them, and I don't want to lose my advantage. And that also means that they're aware of their white privilege. When people say, I don't understand, what are you talking about white privilege? No, white people are very much aware of their white privilege, and they want to keep it like that. Now, it's funny, right? I could sit down with a white person, and they're happy. We can eat our meal at the same table, and they're happy. Right? That's cool. As soon as they start finding out about me, that I'm making some headway in my life where, I got a house, I got a nice car, I got all these things where they think that I shouldn't have, because they have this presumption that, oh, you're black, you can't have all these things. When they start to see that, you start chipping away at their own self-confidence that's built on their white privilege. And now you start challenging that. And that's why, to me, and I can only speak personally.
I don't think everyone is like that. I mean, there's a lot, that you would be that we are surprised that have racist tendencies since Trump has been in office. But I don't know if I feel like it's fair to say that because someone voted for him that they're racist, because I know a lot of people that feel differently now that he's said some of the things and done some of the things that he has done. And I don't necessarily feel like that's fair to say, because I don't think everyone feels like that.
But what at what point, if you voted
I do
for
agree.
this man,
let me just say this.
okay.
I do agree that the people, now that they are more aware of his verbiage and his actions and his hatred towards women and other races, I do feel like people that continue to support him, I would feel comfortable in saying that, yeah, I would say you're a racist.
Let me tell you
but
something.
the people
Okay.
prior to that voted for him, not necessarily knowing just how flagrant he was. Yeah, I don't know if it's safe to say that they're racist.
Look, let me tell you something. I don't put it past anybody, because remember how Trump started to get into the national consciousness, in the political national consciousness. He started out being a birther. and he started challenging President Obama. Is he really American? We have to check that out. From that very day, I knew that, okay, he is playing that race card. He is playing to a base,
You
or he's
knew
playing
from
to a
then
section.
because I didn't.
Man, look,
I'm gonna be honest,
how
I
you challenge
didn't.
it? Ain't no president in the history of this country was ever challenged if he was born here. And all of a sudden, a black man that's half Kenyan, half white comes into this country, becomes the president, and all of a sudden, you want to start questioning where he born, and try to invalidate his sense of being and him coming into the presidency. Come on, player. I'm not saying you know what I'm talking about. You know, I was like, I ain't going for that.
Then. Call me lame, but I just didn't get that then. I felt like he had this strong dislike for him, maybe even a hate
And
for
where it come from? And where it
but
come
I
from?
didn't then
And where it come
feel
from?
like it was racist. I didn't then.
And where it
but
come from?
now that I look back on it and the things that he has said in the media and what he doesn't even care that people knows about him, I'm like, oh yeah, this dude is racist. You know, our president is racist, and I hate to use that word, our president, but
hey, I ain't saying he ain't my president. I tell you that. All right, and keep it real. If we was to put you in a time capsule and throw you back in the time in George Washington days, I'm sure you're gonna be like, that ain't my president either. Because we all damn well know George Washington was a slave owner, and F that. All right, what was this country? That's why we always challenge that MAGA business. Where
right, they weren't representative of us, but
never was.
Technically,
never was.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Like what's his name? Oh my God, pick any old president. It don't matter. I think it's Thomas Jefferson. Right, and I'm drawing the blanket. Thomas Jefferson. You know, he had his concubine, his African slave mistress that he had kids by. And please, people, don't knock me. I don't know all the details, and that's why it's important to do a little grab your research before we get on this mic. But we're just having a conversation here. And you know, it's been long. No, everybody knows when you're dealing with a part of America in the 18th century, 17th century, we know what we're dealing with. All right, when you were dealing with America in 1952, 1955, as a black person, we know what we were dealing with. So my thing is, a lot of that stuff is just, it hasn't gone anywhere. It just kind of like slipped into the undercurrent in the back channels of America, in the dark room. And to me, when it's time for the elite to use it and use it to their benefit, for whatever is happening in this country, they gonna pull that card. Just like how they try to blame black people for saying, oh, you just want to pull the race card? Look, white folk invented the race card. Okay?
Oh, that gets me every time someone says that.
Crazy. And I think, you know, I think we way over our mark. I think it's time to introduce the next song. All right, so the next song that we're gonna go into, I think King, his name is King K. I think that brother's
King
name.
Cammy.
King who?
King Cammy.
Cammy. All right. Well, we're going to go into King Cammy. The name of the song is Sacrifices. I don't know where he's at, but check the song out. It's hot. It's crazy. Feel this music out.
Sacrifices, I've been sacrificing almost all my life and tried to fight and tried to make me holy, so I had to fight.
It's 98.3 GCOMradio.
Light 'em up.
Here's another bang for your
Never
ears.
frightened, think I'm scared of prisons. What you think I'm writing? Black and timeless, gave up all my struggle for them racks and diamonds. Got it honest, father love the hustle, so I had to sign up. If a conscious family need them bills, I'm a Johnny Cochran dollar sign. Seen some niggas killed over dollar topics. Had to watch it, wasn't in the field, but I had the knowledge. Weigh my options, either do them drills or just play the pocket. Not a problem, taught to keep it real, so I had survived and never rebels. But I was hungry, so niggas had respected. Daily weapon, smart with a motive. I had to spread my message, never stressing. Learned if you want it, the nigga go and get it. That's when I knew I had to use my blessing. Preach sacrifices, I've been sacrificing almost all my life and tried to fight and tried to make me holy, so I had to fight and had to strike him, never find a bargain, so I had to bite him, been a like and bully on the come up, who gon' tranquilize? Sacrifices, I've been sacrificing almost all my life and tried to fight and tried to make me holy, so I had to back in the lab, packing the stash. Thought I was taking a break, now my foot back on the gas, ready to blast. People be plotting your fall, nigga, I never was shack. Sticks in the grass, people that eat off your plate be the ones quicker to stab. Hold up, better get that toaster, better hit that cobra till it get colder. Giving off that odor, like smoking Doja, smoking that dank. Used to be scared of the flame, now I roll up with a gang. Used to the pain, when you see the by the quarter, you tend to get used to the change. Ain't in the job, I've been racing to the finish line, working 10 to 9. At a place that's only still in time, battles in my mind. What I need ain't always what I want. Got me feeling blind. On this road, I'm holding on to God. Energized, I've been racing to the finish line, working 10 to 9. At a place that's only still in time, battles in my mind. What I need ain't always what I want. Got me feeling blind. On this road, I'm holding on to God. Hey, sacrifices, I've been sacrificing almost all my life. I tried to fight and tried to make me holy, so I had to fight and had to strike 'em. Never find a bargain, so I had to bite and bend a like and bully on the come up. Who gon' drink with light? Sacrifices, I've been sacrificing almost all my life and tried to fight and tried to make me holy, so I had to fight and had to strike 'em. Never find a bargain, so I had to bite and bend a like and bully on the come up. Who gon' drink with light?
All right, so we back. You just listened to the King Cammy from Newark, New Jersey. The song is called, see, I don't know all these songs. My bad, y'all.
Sacrifices.
Sacrifices. There you go.
Stick with me, man.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. All right, that was King Cammy. That was a hot song. I love that. So, for our third and final segment to our first show, man, what are we talking about? I'll leave it to you. What's up, Latasha? What are we talking about?
We talking about Dame Dashing.
Oh, what? Yo, his name became a verb.
Yes. I'm gonna need you to go ahead and pay me my money, man. Like, why do people feel like they can just not pay you your money? And so it does put you in, you feel some type of way. You know, you feel like Dame Dashing them because they're on social media, they're bragging about how they just made money for this gig, or how they're the boss, and you know how they're rolling and they're showing pictures of them shopping and just getting it in with money they haven't paid you back. So the discussion that we had the other day was, to Dame Dash or not to Dame Dash? Do you put someone on blast?
That's the question.
On social media when they're up there flossing and talking about they're making all this money but haven't, or you know, how do you handle it? Do you Dame Dash them?
Do you Dame Dash them? Who owe who money? That's the crazy thing. It's funny, right? We owe people money. It happens. We owe our brothers, we owe our sisters, family members, our cousin Cleo for 6 blocks down. Yo, son, you owe me $50 or $30, whatever.
It happens.
It happens. But when it comes to professional relationships and you are on your word, you got to fulfill that. Because really, at the end of the day, all you have is your word. Yeah, and it goes for people with no money or a little money, and it goes for people that has a whole lot. Let's say on some Dwayne Johnson business. If you loan somebody money, or you get a loan from someone, yo, let me borrow like $100, $100,000, $10,000, and you tell them, hey, listen, I'm putting it towards this. I'm gonna get this money back this way. You know, I got you in on this. You know, I'll hit you back. But you can't borrow money from people, all right? You borrowing $1,000 and you know you owe people and you making money and you just going about your business. And the thing that gets me crazy upset about it, it's the funniest thing. You are connected with people in social media, Instagram, Facebook, Periscope, Snapchat, and they are your friends and they stunting. They stunting. I'm like, yo, come on. You know and you sitting there like, at the table, like, as if they don't know that you connected to them. And you sitting there at the table like, yo, this motherfucker owe me like $100. Yeah, what is going on? When they gonna stunt it my way? When they gonna throw that stunt my way?
You
like,
snapping pictures of your new Yeezys or your new red bottoms. You know, but you ain't. You still
Your
haven't
Gucci's-
ran me my money. You know, I'm gonna need you to run me my money.
And then throw salt on the wound. They respond to one of your posts as if what money you loaned them never even existed. And you like, all right, cool, yeah, son, that was funny. Or yeah, lady, that yeah, homegirl, yeah, that was great. And all in the back of your mind, you thinking, you owe me $100.
Right. So
at what time you gonna let me know you gonna give me my
at what
money?
point do you dame dash them? You know, hey, I hit you up with a text. You know, you said you were gonna give me this money. What happened? You know, they don't get you back. Or they'll say,
what happened?
Oh yeah, that'll post in a couple of weeks, or yeah, I'll get that to you in a couple of weeks. And then a couple of weeks go by, you don't hear anything, and then they start ghosting you, right? They stop answering your texts. They don't call you. They don't come around, but they're still on social media flossing. So,
yo, that to me, that's amazing. That is amazing.
So yeah,
Go ahead.
I need to go ahead and dame dash you, because it seems like unless you blast somebody, you know, they won't do right, and that's sad. That's sad.
Now, you're right. That's sad. Now, the funny thing is, right? It's always a funny thing. Like, you owe people money, just send them back. Like, look, let me tell you, my man was in a situation, right? He fell back on his mortgage, so he needed some money, right? So he asked around our home, our peoples in the circle, and I caught wind of it. I said, "Yo, that's my man from back in the day. It's from we was teenagers." So I'm like, "Yo, no problem." I hit him off with like $1,100 so he could cover his mortgage. But I was like, "Yo, player, you gotta hit me back, man. Yo." So he said, "Yo, no doubt, no, I got you." Yo, he knew the deal. We grown ass folk. We not in our 20s, and we working. We all have our responsibilities. And yo, he hit me back. He gave me back my money. He was delayed in it, and he was like, "Yo, son, my second job." And in the back of my mind, I was like, "Here we go." But I give him props. I give him credit where credit's due. He hit me back that following week later, and he paid that money back. But there are those who borrow money from you and they still want to act like they, stunt master 1,000.
And act like they don't owe you. Just with a straight face on social media, spending up money, but they can't give you your money.
Not a crack in the
Here's
smile.
the thing.
And they can't give you your money.
And anyone who has ever borrowed money from me can attest to this. I'm a very patient person. Like, I'll have money out there, and I'm not talking about a couple of dollars. Like, I'm talking about sometimes close to $1,000 or more. And I'm very patient. 6 months might go by. As long as you talk to me, yeah, I know I said I was going to pay you back by this date. I'm not able to. I might give you $250 here, but the rest I might have to wait. Like, as long as you stay in communications with me, and I know that you're making the effort to try to pay me back my money, I'm usually pretty good. You know what I mean? But you can't get to egging me. You can't get to getting ghost on me, and then you on social media having a party, but you haven't tried to pay me my money. Why do people do that? Why do they start ignoring you like you owe them? Like you mad at me when you owe me.
Yo, we gotta start. I think Cass gonna turn into a verb. We gotta start dashing them folks, like he did. Who he did that to? You know what? I'm keeping 100. What happened? Who he did that to? I forgot his name.
Dave Dash. He did it to Lee Daniels.
Yeah, who was Lee Daniels? Right. That's embarrassing.
I felt so bad for Lee Daniels.
He did that straight out.
Because Lee Daniels seemed like he crazy cool, man.
But he owed my man. Yo, look, that's $1 million.
No, $2 million.
Now that's
not $1 million. $2.
It was $2 million. Okay, now of course everybody heard this already, but this was based on a situation that happened, and to me it's like on a personal level with Latasha, and it happens to all of us. But that Lee Daniels joint just like sparked the conversation. Like, yo, listen, if you work with somebody and they bless you with some, like, come on, that was a $2 million. Yo, if Lee Daniels, this is my thing. If Lee Daniels doesn't have liquid cash, at least what he could do is with the relationships that he built in Hollywood, he could at least say, you know what, check this out. out. Listen, I ain't got the money for you right now, but I'm gonna cut you in on this deal that I'm on what I'm building with, I don't know, MGM or whoever he's dealing, what studio house he's dealing with. Yo, I'll get you on the back end. You know, I'll give you credit, and not even just credit, but you know, you could jump on board with me on this film, and I'll give you some back end or whatever the case may be, and you know, hit them off 250,000, and then you know, in installments, whatever the deal could work out.
He did make those type of deals and told him that he was going to do that in order to be able to get that money back. You know, it wasn't actually a loan; it was an investment, but he had gave Dame his word that he was going to get that money back. You know. And he did not get that money back because whatever he had invested in flopped and didn't get, you know, a return. But he had gave him his word that he would get that money back. And so he felt like it was the right thing to do to go ahead and give this man his money back. But that was after he blasted him when he came to that revelation that he needed to go ahead and, he
had to straight dash him and be like, yo, play it in front of the whole audience. Yo, you going to give me my money or what? Know, I don't know who recorded it. Who knows? I'm like,
should I start dashing, folks? Now, everyone, you need to understand this is the radio Latasha. This is, you know, a different Latasha than what you know.
Right. Yeah. Let's keep it. Yeah. You know, Latasha is a calm person, but let me tell you, sometimes you just gotta dash folks and tell them, yo, listen. You owe me some bread, and sometimes it's the principle. It's the principle. But what you're not gonna do is ask me for the money humbly, right? Ask me for the money humbly. I'll hit you when I can hit you, and then you straight stunting on social media that you know we're connected on, and act like you don't owe me no money. That's not what you're gonna do. That's not what you're
gonna do. This in my face.
All right, so
that is,
and you're gonna do it in my face. It's disrespectful, yo. It's disrespectful. It's to me, doing that on social media is like you lending somebody money. They know you work across the street from where they work, and then you see at lunchtime you go into to BBQs and you spending money on your other coworkers, knowing, and they see you walking back and forth on the sidewalk, and they throwing money all around, buying lunch for their coworkers, knowing they owe you. That's the equivalent when it's on social media. That exact situation, and to me, that's disrespectful.
And I
that's
feel like I don't care if it's $1. I don't care if I don't need the money. It's my money, and it's a loan. If I don't tell you it's a gift, you need to give me my money back.
Boom, there you go. Whatever it is, and I think people got, and you know, and let's be real, it happens a lot in Hollywood. It happens a lot, and we know that's the business, but. You know, when especially to me, and I always come when it comes to black folk, but when it comes to black folk, knowing how hard it is to get money from the studios for whatever, even as an established producer, director, how hard it is to get money. When you have dudes that are in the same circle as you that has that liquid cash and say, you know what, I believe in you. Here's the cash. You got to do your utmost to pay them back the money that they owe you, because you weren't in that position before that friend came along. So you owe them, and it, boom. So you have to do it, especially as black people in this business. So yeah, if you got to dash folks, you know, you got to dash folks, and you got to let them know that, yo, bro, you owe me some cash. I hit you off,
but I'm a
it
dash.
Don't got to be liquid. I love you. Boom. How we gonna do this? Hey, well, there you go. That's the segment. So, all right. So that's the segment that we doing for GCOMradio. I appreciate everybody that's coming through. Sorry for it being a little rough. We will get better as we go along and be more prepared. We just wanted to knock out these things and have it ready for you. So check out Lyfeblood.com. Again, GCOMradio is an extension of Lyfeblood.com. Lyfeblood.com is a crowdfunding website that helps other folks finance their dreams. So if you're in ballet, a chef, or you're an engineer that invented something new, this is a community that you come to kind of let people help you through the dollar power philosophy. And that's just your people that you have amassed over 6 months, 5,000, giving you $1 per month in order for you to live out your dreams. So GCOMradio is here for you guys. We're gonna have a lot of guests as we go along,
and we need to get into this last song.
And we're gonna blow this up. And Last song, that's right. That's why Latasha be on deck.
Here,
Yo,
man.
that's why I be,
I'm
you know,
here.
I
I
be
got
tripping.
you. We're gonna get into this Keys from LA. Bass.
Right,
Yes.
Keys. All right, Bass. This is a love song. This is a lovely song. Check this out, y'all. Keys from Los Angeles, California. Bass.
A GCOM exclusive.
You plus me is heavenly. 7 plus 12, flip that 2, I think it's 23. Go back to school just to study for you. I ain't got no kind of focus in me for with you. I got that throwback, you already know that. I'm about to show you around town in my yo. Put that top back, whip, let it roll. Turn my stereo on, let it blow. Oh. Can you feel that bass in your stomach? Can you feel that vibe in your ear? Rumble in your chest while you're humming. When you ride out with me, can you feel my bass, girl? 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 Can you ride that bass, girl? Can you feel my bass, girl? I bring that juice, no, I ain't talking VA. That Pam juice, click over, need that three-way. Let's get loose, I'm pulling up to your gate. No Grey Goose, Ciroc is what we drink. Okay, I got a new analogy. I run this space through your anatomy. No distance, this is you with me. Bass right through your technology. Make sure you keep your firewall up. Make sure you stay protected. I feel that heat flowing all around. We bout to burn this motherfucker down. Can you feel that bass in your stomach? Can you feel that vibe in your ear? Rumble in your chest while you're humming. When you ride out with me. Can you feel my bass, girl? 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 Can you ride that bass, girl? Can you feel my bass, girl? Can you feel it in your? 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 Can you feel it? You know, I know you feel it in your gut. Can you feel it? You know, I know you feel it in your gut. Can you feel it? You know, I know you feel it in your gut. Can you feel it? You know, I know you feel it in your gut. Can you feel it? You know, I know you feel it in your gut. Can you feel it? You know, I know you feel it in your gut. Can you feel it? You know, I know you feel it in your gut. Can you feel it? You know, I know you feel it in your gut.
It's WPRD 98.3 GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com for the global community. On the next go round, from right here to your town,
I already know.
we out.